Today is the day that I'm going to get very personal with you about my channel, Project Eli. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we will educate, lead, and inspire. And speaking of inspiration, I've been inspired by a gentleman named Thomas Opung, who wrote a great article, 103 Life Lessons People Often Learn Too Late. I want to apply some of these lessons and show you how I've used them for this particular channel, Project Eli. First one, pursue your ultimate potential. Anything less is not worthy of your time. You know, my goal is to share the life lessons that I've learned as and be a mentor to not only my son, but also those of you that are part of the tribe, Project Eli. And I had to figure out what was the best way that I could take the knowledge that I've accumulated over the years from my many mentors. I've had so many really good mentors, and take that knowledge and share it with you as they shared their knowledge with me. And it became evident that, you know, saying, well, why don't you read this book, or, you know, why don't you read this? That's not the way people operate today. The way people operate today is by looking at videos like this. So what I've done is I've taken this concept and said, what is the best way that I can reach my potential as a mentor? And that was the inspiration and genesis of the channel, Project Eli, to educate, lead, and inspire. The bigger the why, the greater the impact, and the stronger the drive. Well, those of you that are parents know that there is no stronger drive than the love that you have for your very own children. There is nothing bigger than that, and I am no exception. My why in developing this channel is to leave a legacy for my son Eli, and to help other people like you watching to not have to go through and make some of the same mistakes that I and other people have made in life. I learned that way. My mentors taught me, oh, you don't want to do that. Here's the why and because. That's what the objective of this channel, and that's a very big why for me to have my son be a great achiever so that he can become the person that he wants to be. I don't know what he wants to do. He might want to be a lawyer. He might want to be a physicist. He might want to be a comedian. He's very funny, you know. But the point is, the principles that get you to success are constant. They don't change. There is a formula to that. There is a blueprint. And that is what I feel is the difference between my channel and other channels. Instead of just, you know, saying, here's what to do, I give you the blueprint, step by step, the why and because, so that you can embrace the proper steps and move yourself forward. And the fact that I am 50 years older than my son gave me the fear that when he really needed me, I may not be here. So I wanted to leave something for him that he could be able to grasp when the time comes. Right now, he ain't all that interested in the success formula. He's interested in girls. He's interested in basketball. I mean, he's 16 years old. That's what 16-year-olds do. But I want to make sure that when it becomes really important, when he matures and he starts to see the things in life that are critical to be successful, that he will have a venue that he can look at and get the answers and get the blueprints to help him go from point A to B to C to become that person that he wants to become. The obstacle isn't something standing in our way, it's the way itself. Boy, you know, this channel is living proof of that. I am one of the most ignorant people that you'll ever meet in terms of technical knowledge, in terms of computers, in terms of the internet, all of the things that are necessary. And once I realized that this was the venue that I was going to have to use to get my message across, it wasn't an obstacle anymore, it was the way itself. So I had to figure out what it was I had to do to get that job done. It became the way. So I've learned a few of those things. I haven't learned everything, like I don't do the editing. Thank you, Amber. Amber does all my editing for me. But the content of what we talk about is entirely my own. You know, I'll borrow from, as in this case, Thomas Opung, you know, from his article, different ideas. Why? Because different paradigms, that I don't have the same paradigm that Eli has, that you have. So you have to approach situations and issues from different angles, and hopefully you'll be able to reach that person so they can take that knowledge, accept it, and make use of it. So the obstacle for me was the technical aspect, but it wasn't really an obstacle when you think about it. It's the way to get the job done. Great work, like a healthy financial portfolio, takes time to mature. I know that, as we mentioned earlier, Eli is not quite ready for all of the stuff that we discuss on this channel. It's going to take some time. Patience is a virtue. So one of my favorite sayings is, you need to be patiently impatient, which means you have to recognize that good things take time to evolve and to develop and to bear fruit. And also you have to be impatient in terms of wanting to get that job done right now. So that's why every day there's a new video for you where I have a different idea, a different aspect of the success formula to teach. And frequently they're the same principles because there's only so many principles. But the key thing is to come at them from a different angle, with the hope that when you maybe say something in a humorous way, somebody will get it. You say something in a sad way, somebody will get it. You tell a story, somebody will get it. Who knows what it is that makes everything click up here for you? The concept is you've got to approach things from different angles, and it takes time. So you need to be patiently impatient. Whatever you do, stay on the path of inquiry for better solutions for your personal experiences. You know, a lot of times when people reach my age, and you know, as you know, I'm a senior right now. I'm in my 60s. You know, a lot of times people say, well, you know, I already know everything I'm going to know. Nothing more I have to learn. What happens then? What happens then? Then life becomes a treadmill. It becomes a drag. You're doing the same thing over and over again. On the other hand, if you look, the key thing is, I don't know how my 16-year-old son Eli thinks all the time. You know, times have changed. You know, there's different technology, there's different, you know, there were no video games when I was growing up. You know, so there's all sorts of different aspects. So if I don't understand some of those aspects, if I can't think the way that he thinks, the way that you think, what good am I in terms of explaining something? I become irrelevant. So it's critical that in order to maintain your relevancy, that you're able to put yourself in someone else's shoes so that you can see and understand the way that they feel and explain something so that they can move forward as well. And then once somebody identifies that you can see and feel what they're feeling, they are more apt to listen and absorb the lesson that you're trying to teach. There are no specific answers, but there are definitely better questions. Don't just focus on questions that validate your own assumptions. Too many times when people have a point to prove, what they do is they ask a question, and understanding that when they ask that particular question, well, I have the answer for that. Here's the, it's like that TV show, is that your final answer? Here's my final answer. There are no final answers. Answers change. Questions change. You have to be able to understand other questions that people are asking, because their perspective is different from yours. If everybody had exactly the same perspective, you would only need one answer. But that's not the case. Some people are more well-to-do. Some people are better looking. Some people have hair. Okay? It depends upon your scenario, the way you think about things. I'll give you an example, all right? Clearly in high school, I was voted hairline most likely to recede. And I've accomplished that. And right now, believe it or not, I'm dying to get a haircut. All right, my hair is too long, it's uncomfortable. I want to get a haircut very badly. Or as Eli frequently says to me, Dad, you don't need a haircut, you need a hair grow. But here's my point. I have an appointment in 3 days to be vaccinated. So I've made the decision. Why should I take the chance of going in to the lady that does my hair before I get myself vaccinated? That's an unnecessary risk. I can be uncomfortable for a few days, get the vaccination, and then when I go in there, then I'm not so worried about all of the people that are in there, or all of the people that she has come into contact with. I don't know who she's come in contact with. Do I want to take that chance? It's just inserting the common sense. There's no specific answers, but you got to ask the right questions. The right question is now the time to get the haircut and take the risk, or is it judicious to wait until you get vaccinated? And that applies to not just getting a haircut, that applies to all walks of your life. What question is in the mind of the person that you're trying to teach a lesson to? And if you understand that question and put yourself in their shoes, then you become a much more effective person. And because we're never going to end a meeting on a philosophical note, let's get out there and charge. I'm Eli's dad.